welcome back to my channel. This is my review for Annabelle. It's a very late review, but I really wanted to talk about this movie and get my opinion out on it. This movie is directed by John R. Leonetti, and this is, I think, the cinematographer for The Conjuring and most of James Wan's movies, so, you know, you're thinking going into this that this guy's probably going to know how to direct a really decently good horror film on the fact that he's watched James Wan do it for a countless amount of times. And having said that, this is a huge step down from The Conjuring and Insidious and James Wan's style in general. This is a huge step down. This really didn't feel like a James Wan movie. It felt like someone else's movie. And, you know, that's sad about this because, you know, Insidious Chapter 3 looks amazing, alright? It looks fantastic. I'm going to have a blast. I guarantee even if the movie's kind of bad, I'm still going to have a fun time watching it due to the visual and prowess and the tone. This movie's tone was just bland. I guess that's a safe word to use in this occasion because I didn't feel like it didn't make me look around. You know, I wasn't looking around or nothing late at night after I watched the movie. I was just like, okay. Well, I guess I didn't waste my time, you know. I guess it was okay. That's what I felt. It was okay. I didn't hate the movie. I didn't hate it as much as I thought I was going to. I was going into this with a fresh mind, my personal opinion. Being a big fan of The Conjuring, though, yes, it's a very big step down. As I said, it sucks compared to The Conjuring. There's no comparison. You can't compare it. Having said that, the Annabelle doll, still creepy as hell. And you know what? They missed a huge opportunity with this movie because what was so special about The Conjuring was everybody was thinking this thing's going to use the same horror generics and, you know, the jump scares, and this movie goes with jump scares. It goes with but the thing with The Conjuring was it didn't run off the stupid, I wouldn't say stupid, but the same generic horror movie kind of tone. You know, it's not like jump scare after jump scare, or, you know, the denial of the husband. Oh, there's no ghost. You're just crazy. This movie does that. There's the husband, you know, is denying the fact there could be ghosts and there's paranormal activity going on. And we've seen it many times. The thing about The Conjuring was, yes, at some points it had some of the horror movie generics, but it used it in a really unique way that it made it work. On the account of watching this movie, it doesn't necessarily work. It's just something we've seen before. That's why this movie didn't work for a lot of people. Having said that, again, there are some redeemable qualities about this movie. I got creeped out a few times. I was, you know, okay, here's the thing. There's going to be a little bit of a spoiler in this review because I feel the need to tell you about this. There's a demon in the movie, like an actual demon, horns, black, you know, demon, eyes red, demon. I don't think it was necessary. And that's me being totally honest with you, because the thing about The Conjuring was, what really scared me was the fact that when we saw this entity, it wasn't what I was expecting. It wasn't generic. It wasn't a generic demon look, like horns and stuff. It was something like, oh my god, that looks just like a person, but who's been through hell. In this movie, it's just a demon. And yes, there's a woman in it, and I wish they just stuck with that woman, because I guarantee if they stuck with that woman, the movie would have felt more creepier. But this demon was so easily generic, and they just used it because of jump scare purposes. There's one scene with the demon, though, that I will admit got me a little bit. But the demon, I think, could have been thrown out. I think we could have just kept with this woman, and the movie would have been creepier. That's how I feel. I feel like if they just took out this demon, the generic little things that... you know what, it's probably smart not to get someone who's been on a set to direct, because they're going to try to use resources around them instead of use their own mind to make up some cool, you know, specific, kind of unique ways to do this movie. This guy, like, took a whole bunch of movies, like, he just slipped on a whole bunch of movies, like, you know, movies like Friday the 13th remake and Nightmare on Elm Street remake. It's like, hey, you know what? Got some cool jump scares in there. You know, let's put on a horror movie. You know, the ANNABELLE horror remake. Look at that jump scare. You know, someone's hanging themselves. You know, someone's jumping in your face. Well, let's, you know, I'm gonna maybe use my little own idea to make some cool jump scares instead of use really unique ways to scare people. And that's Annabelle. Annabelle is a really big disappointment. I won't say it's the worst movie. I did enjoy a lot of qualities in the movie. I wish they just stuck away from the generic horror kind of elements. But on the other hand, Annabelle is not a bad, terrifyingly horrible movie. It's okay, but it's nowhere compared to The Conjuring. So I'm going to give Annabelle a C-.